The Galactic Survey Vessel. Prudent Inquiry dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kepler 442 system, its sensors immediately screaming warnings that made Captain Zexthol's 4 hearts skip in unison. The readings were impossible, a class 20 Deathworld, the highest classification on the galactic habitability scale, indicating a planet so hostile that even brief exposure would kill most known species within minutes. Sensor Officer Krillin, run a full diagnostic, Zexthol commanded, his chitinous fingers drumming nervously against his command chair. These readings cannot be accurate. The insectoid officer's compound eyes flickered as she processed the data. All systems functioning normally, Captain. The planet registers atmospheric pressures that would crush most species, radiation levels that would cook our DNA, and electromagnetic storms that could fry our ship's systems from orbit. And yet, Science Officer Veltar interjected, his tentacles writhing in confusion. I'm detecting artificial structures on the surface, large ones, and what appears to be recreational facilities. Captain Zexthol's translator struggled with the final phrase, as the concept of recreation on a Class 20 Deathworld was utterly foreign to galactic civilization. Impossible. Send a probe. No, send 3 probes, different trajectories. 2 hours later, the bridge crew stared in stunned silence at the probe footage. Sprawling resort complexes dotted the planet's surface, complete with pools of liquid that would dissolve most alien flesh, recreational areas built around active volcanic vents, and beings, humanoid beings, casually strolling through environments that should have killed them instantly. James Martinez adjusted his sunglasses and took another sip of his mojito, completely unaware that he was being observed by terrified aliens from orbit. The 52-year-old construction foreman from Phoenix had saved for 3 years for this vacation to Hellscape Resort on Kepler 442b, and he was determined to enjoy every minute of it. "Honey, could you pass the sunscreen?" his wife Lisa called, from her lounge chair beside the acid falls. "SPF 500 should be enough for today. The radiation readings are only at moderate levels." James chuckled, reaching into their beach bag. "Remember our honeymoon on Venus? Now that was hot. This place is actually pretty mild, only 180 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade." Lisa laughed, her auburn hair catching the light from the system's binary suns. "At least here we don't need the pressure suits. I love being able to feel the sulfur breeze on my skin." A few meters away, their new friend Marcus was teaching his teenage daughter how to surf the lava flows. The specialized boards, made from heat-resistant ceramics, glided effortlessly over the molten rock while the family whooped with joy. "First time on a Class 20 world?" Marcus called over to James and Lisa. "Second," James replied. "We went to Mordith Prime last year for our anniversary. Lisa wanted to try the extreme weather package. Those Category 7 acid storms were incredible." Meanwhile, aboard the Prudent Inquiry, panic was setting in. They're playing in the lava," whispered Sensor Officer Krillin, her voice barely registering on the ship's audio systems. "That creature just jumped into a pool of concentrated sulfuric acid," reported Veltar, his tentacles now completely rigid with shock. "And it's swimming. For pleasure." Captain Zexthol activated the ship's long-range communications array. This required immediate contact with Galactic Central Command. The response came within hours. A full diplomatic fleet led by Ambassador Prime Gexnall himself, whose crystalline form hadn't left the safety of climate-controlled environments in over 2 centuries. When the human delegation finally agreed to meet with the Galactic Council after finishing their volcano hiking expedition, the conference took place aboard the flagship Cosmic Harmony in a specially constructed habitat module that barely managed to sustain the humans' toxic atmospheric requirements. "We don't understand," Ambassador Prime Gexnall began, his crystalline body refracting light nervously. "Your species inhabits the most dangerous planet we've ever encountered. How do you survive?" Lisa, still wearing her "I survived the toxic storms of Kepler 442b" t-shirt, exchanged glances with James. "Oh, you mean Earth? Yeah, she's a bit rough around the edges. We've had a few close calls. Ice ages, asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, that sort of thing. But you know what they say. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The atmospheric pressure alone should have crushed your ancestors, insisted Science Officer Veltar. Actually, James interjected, our home planet has similar pressure, maybe a bit higher. We evolved at the bottom of an atmospheric ocean. Earth's got everything. Deadly storms, poisonous creatures, radiation from space, tectonic activity, wildfire, floods. It's basically a training ground. Training ground? Echoed Captain Zexthol. Sure, Lisa continued. By the time we figured out space travel, places like this, she gestured toward the planet below, well, they remind us of home. Some spots on Earth are actually more dangerous. You should see Australia. The silence that followed was deafening. Wait, Ambassador Prime Gexnall's voice cracked through his translator. You're telling us that this Class 20 Deathworld, this planet that could kill our entire fleet if we attempted to land, is essentially a vacation resort for your species, because it's safer than your home planet? James nodded cheerfully. Pretty much, though I do miss the hurricanes and the earthquakes. Kepler 442b is nice, but it's almost too predictable. No killer wildlife to speak of. Killer wildlife? Whispered Krillin. Oh yeah, Lisa added enthusiastically. Earth's got these things called blue-ringed octopi that can kill you with one bite, spiders the size of dinner plates, jellyfish that can stop your heart, bears that can run 40 miles per hour, and don't even get me started on the bacteria. James here once got food poisoning from a gas station burrito and still went to work the next day. The galactic delegation exchanged looks of pure horror. Your species, Ambassador Prime Gexnall said slowly, has somehow evolved on a planet so hostile that you consider our most dangerous worlds to be relaxing vacation destinations. That's about the size of it, James confirmed. Though between you and me, if you really want to see something impressive, wait until we open the new resort on Wolf 1061C. Now that's what I call challenging terrain. As the human delegates returned to their vacation on the surface, the Galactic Council made a unanimous decision. Classify the Sol system as a quarantine zone, upgrade Earth to the newly created Class 50 Deathworld designation, and add a new diplomatic protocol. Never, under any circumstances, make humanity angry. After all, if this was where they went to relax, nobody wanted to see what they were capable of when they weren't having fun.